Hi, I'm Daphne Richards. Our question this week comes from viewers Paul and Barbara Lloyd in Fredericksburg, who wrote to us with questions about the strange growth on their ash trees, which are over 20 years old. Paul and Barbara would like to know what this growth is and if it means that the trees are diseased or dying. Well, these interesting little creatures are lichens, complex organisms that are composed of a fungus in symbiotic union with an alga or cyanobacterium. They're unusual among living organisms, but are fairly common on trees, especially in wild or natural areas, and also commonly grow on rocks. If you pay attention while hiking almost anywhere, you'll see many different lichens in lots of different shapes and colors. They aren't, in and of themselves, harmful to trees, but are simply using the trees as a support surface. We reached out to Guy LeBlanc of Tree Care by Guy to get the certified arborist scoop. He confirmed that the lichens are harmless since they don't invade the plant tissue. But, as with ball moss, another common interloper in our central Texas deciduous trees, if enough lichens are present, they do stunt growth by covering the surface of the bark and inhibiting branching and the production of new leaves. Lichens tend to be more problematic on trees that are stressed for other reasons, like our past few years of drought, which caused many trees to lose more leaves and have more of an open canopy than usual. With more sunlight getting to the lichens, they're able to thrive, reproduce, and spread. If these are Arizona ash trees, they're riparian, meaning that they need more water and tend to be more prone to drought stress, dropping more leaves and struggling more in general, making them more susceptible to secondary issues than our native ash would be. The best course of action would be to water your trees well during hot and dry periods and hope for them to recover and put on more canopy. If they're too far gone, the trees may continue to struggle to put on new growth, which would, in the end, lead to their early demise. Our plant this week is orange shrimp plant, a dwarf relative of the more common shrimp plant. This lovely, low-growing perennial makes a beautiful addition to any garden, especially in the front of beds and along walkways. The bright orange flowers do indeed resemble actual shrimp, and they cover the plant all summer long. Orange shrimp plant gets only about 2 feet tall, but spreads twice as wide, so give it plenty of space. In milder climates, orange shrimp plant is said to be evergreen. It's listed as hardy to zone 7 and is reliably perennial in our garden, but does die back each winter. It reemerges from the roots in early spring as soon as temperatures begin to warm up, so be sure to shear to the ground by mid-winter to ensure full, bushy growth each year. Even after an unusual cold snap of several days below freezing and nights in the teens, this plant cheerfully returned in our demonstration garden this year. Shrimp plant easily handles full sun, but also does fine in light shade and even heavy shade if given morning sun for at least a few hours. If planted in shadier spots, it may form fewer flowers and get a bit taller. Water well to establish, then regularly throughout the dry times, especially if planted in full sun. I'd consider orange shrimp plant, a medium water use perennial. Hummingbirds just love the color and shape of these flowers, so be sure to plant where you can observe them easily. It also does quite well in containers. We've got some great viewer picks this week. You've heard of partridges and pear trees, but what about flamingos and a redbud? Karen Sonlotner got this great shot, showing that obviously flamingos are blooming earlier this year, right along with all our other spring blooming trees. Sandra Bacasa sent this gorgeous shot of a monarch on Duranta, and then there's this fiery Asiatic lily from Rick Bickling of the How Do Gardener. We'd love to hear from you, so check out klru.org/ctg to send us your questions, pictures, and videos.